My name is Vince Giovanni. I was born in Sicily, January 16, 1920. My pops was always broke and our family was in a struggle. We moved into the shithole Empire State, New York, and to say the least, our apartment was even worse. The American dream. When we moved, Pops had a temporary job for the government. He had a job to burn down a town of war veterans. He didn't get paid a lot, but what he did mostly went to his booze. 4 years back, the feds found his body laying near our home with 3 bullets dug into his skull. From that day, me, my sister Adriana, and Ma had to live on our own. Soon enough, my ma sent me to school. I sure as hell wasn't gonna learn English in a neighborhood full of Italians. That's where I met my friend Larry. Larry and I became the best of friends pretty soon, and we got into lots of trouble together. Adriana and Ma tried to get me to go to church and live a proper living, but it was unbearable watching my family struggle with their financial situation. On top of that, Ma was taking loans from the bank, and we soon found out Pops left a giant stain of trouble before he died. He owed the bank 3 grand. So desperate times called for desperate measures. Larry and I quickly started a little business of our own. We began robbing jewelry stores for quick cash. We weren't making a lot since the shopkeeper was usually out of stock, but we took what we could get our hands on. Soon enough, when my mom was getting suspicious in how I was able to get my hands on all this money, I told her I was working at this restaurant joint down the street, and I was working extra hours at the church. It was a real struggle, but I did whatever I can to keep us out of the streets. Adriana needed funding for college, and it was my responsibility to provide for her. I was real proud of her. My own sister made it to college. Larry and I quickly became known around our neighborhood as the guys you don't want to mess with, and we were soon adopted in the Gambino family, one of the 3 biggest families around. It was all good, and I was able to finally provide for my family and myself for the first time in my life. For the first time, I saw hope in my family's eyes. Ma was listening to the fireside chats every morning, and I guess you could say things were going good for me. The year was 1939, February 12th. I had one last job until I could finally take a break for a while. I was caught, however, and I was set up by one of the morons from the Bonanno family. He was done for, but so was I. I was in custody. Larry was able to get me one of the best lawyers in town, but even he couldn't get me out of this one. I was labeled as a traitor of my country because I stole when my country needed the resource the most. Sentenced for 8 years in jail. After 3 full days of staring at the wall, Larry sent me a message saying to meet up with this old man called Clemente. Clemente and I soon became good cellmates. I made him a lot of money by boxing for him, and soon enough I was getting all the resources I needed to survive in this hellhole. I learned a good deal about the jail life. The economy was better in here than the outside, and the old man arranged a good amount of cash when I get out in 8 years. Soon after my sister came to visit me, she gave me news about her getting married. My permission would have been nice, but hey, I was happy for her. And she gave me some bad news. Ma was apparently really sick, so I told her to take all the cash Larry has left over as a wedding gift and to get Ma the best doctor in town. A couple months later, I get a letter from Adriana saying that Ma had just passed away. I'd never been so disappointed in my entire life. I was informed a week later that the country is breaking out in war. Larry's been telling me all about it. His brother Joey even got a stable job. I couldn't believe that the war had actually revived the country. A couple of years passed, and I am informed that I was going out early, but on one condition, that I fight for my country in the war. They were shipping me out to Sicily. They needed a young guy like me who could speak the language. Who said I wasn't going back home? They assigned me to the 505th Parachute Infantry.